They are a no drill application, and we're going to test that today and see how it goes. Welcome to the Full Octane Garage today. Today we're going to talk about our 2018 GMC accessories. And one of the first accessories that we've elected to put on the truck are some WeatherTech mud flaps. And we selected the WeatherTech. Our last GMC we did actually had the GM mud flaps, and you had to drill holes. They were permanently affixed. You had to treat the holes to make sure they didn't rust over time. So what was attractive to the WeatherTechs is they are a no drill application, and we're going to test that today and see how it goes. What we're going to do first is unbox these and see how these things actually work. And the part numbers are 110036 and 120036. And these are actually the, believe, helps if you put some glasses on. These are the front mud flaps, so we'll start unboxing them and seeing what comes in the kit. We lost a couple pieces, so we have these now. Interesting, they actually come with, looks like a little tool. So, the front ones have some holes in them, and I assume that what that's going to mean is that I take some existing screws out, and it actually does come with the little tool to do that with. And yes, it appears there are 3 factory fasteners that you will unscrew, and you will overlay this on top of them and replace the 3 factory spacers or fasteners, it appears. So fronts look pretty easy. It looks like you got to cut the wheel. We'll come in and do a little bit of video on that. We'll put these aside, and we'll look at the back ones. Okay, the back ones look somewhat different. They appear to have these fancy little clips on them with looks like an Allen head screw on the front side, and that appears to be, let me double check here, yep, that fits. So that is going to be a 5/32 Allen head that you're going to need to do this application. They actually do give you an Allen head wrench. I prefer to use the little sockets. So these look like they're going to just go right up into the fender well, tighten down on the existing lip of the fender. And again, what I should say is the GMC that we're applying them to is the Denali version. So the fenders have a rubber, like a plastic flare that goes around them, so they are a little bit different than a base model pickup truck. So let's take the camera gear outside and go see how these things go on. Okay, we're in the garage now with the 2018 GMC. What we're going to do is we're going to work on the front end first, and what we've done to prepare for this is we've cut the wheels hard left so that the inside of the wheel well will have plenty of space for us to work in. And you'll see right here where we have, looks like 1, 2, we should have 3 screws in here. Oh yeah, there's another one up in there. So what we'll do is we'll come back, we'll add a little bit of light, set the camera up, and we'll do the install. Okay, we're back at you. We're going to do the driver's front first. And if you look at the mud flaps, they actually have a left-hand, right-hand side labeled on them, so they're not already apparent enough which side they're going to go on. So you kind of hold it up to the truck and you figure out which 3 screws that you're going to need to take out. Basically, it's the 2 bottom ones and then this top one. They've provided this nice little tool, and it actually goes into a 1/4 inch socket, so you'll need a 1/4 inch socket wrench to do this, and that'll make it a little bit easier. See if we can do this by hand once they get loose. They're pretty tight, so we're going to go the whole way out with them. You want to make sure the truck is clean when you put these on, because the last thing you want to see is an unsightly mess underneath this, trying to clean it after they're on. I just washed the truck, so it actually is a little wet right now. And the first screws out. Those are going to be plenty long for this application. They've got nice big washers on them. It may not be important to remember which hole they came out of, but I'm going to track which holes they came out of so that they can go back in the very same spots, just in case there's any irregularities in length. So I'll lay them on the ground in a particular pattern. We'll put these back up here with the top screw in first. We'll just loosely fit it. And then we'll work on our bottom screws. I have to say this was way easier than the factory GMC mud flaps that I installed last time. I had the very same truck in a 3/4 ton. These don't have GMC printed on the bottom, which was I kind of liked on the other one, little nice touch. But these are plain, but they are fitted or contoured to the body. Okay, now that I've got them all started, I can work on getting them all tight. And I have to say, these are some of the easiest mud flaps I've ever installed on a vehicle. These are going extremely easy. They fit very nice. Snug them all down. And they are now installed. And we'll give you a little picture of how they look. They look fantastic. They look just like the fitted GMC mud flaps. They match the plastic very nicely. They're molded. I'll tell you, for the front ones, I give you 2 thumbs up and a 10. Now let's move to the back ones. Okay, we're back at you with the driver's side rear. We pulled it out of the box, and we have, this is also labeled LH for left-hand side. What we're going to do is, on the back side of these things, they have these spin clamps, and they have an unlocked and a locked position. So what happens is you put them in the unlocked position up against your fender flare, and then when you start tightening it down, it will actually go into a locked position and snug it up with these two. The one thing that you want to make sure of is this bottom one gets locked into the lower lip before you start tightening any of these. Otherwise you'll get a lot of play in the lower section. So let's give it a shot. Alrighty. I want to make sure that those are nice, and I typically will start with this middle one first, and if it gets a bite, wrench is, and it appears that it did get a bite. You want to make sure that this is raised up all of the way before you start tightening these. Okay, that's nice and snug. The bottom's snug. Now we're going to work on getting this top one to lock in. You want to make sure that it swings over and locks before you start tightening it. Okay, it's nice and secure now. They look fantastic. What we'll do is we'll show you a little bit of what they look like on the vehicle. They have a nice contour into the body. It fits nicely. They look awesome. They don't say GMC on the bottom, but that's okay. They're quite reasonable. I'll have to put a price down in the comments. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. Please share it with your friends and tell us about some accessories that you got for your 2018 GMC. Excuse the wind noise a little bit windy out, but we got the truck out of the shop with the new mud flaps. Looks like they're going to give some very, very nice protection to the running boards from getting all yucky and muddy. My wife will really like that. Now these GMC Denalis come with a front mud flap, which is puzzling why they never came with a back mud flap, but the back mud flaps do fit very, very nice. Contoured with the vehicle. There's nothing like some 2018 Denali. Thanks for joining us today at the Full Octane Garage. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Also subscribe to our channel and like us on Facebook.